All of you, can you hear my voice? Yes, hello. Can you hear my voice? Yes, hello. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, let me continue. Yeah, yesterday we discussed just little bit introduction on web UI technologies. Here, first, what is web UI? We discussed. Here, web UI, here it is a user interface. It's a front end of our application. Front end page of web page, front end of the application, front end page, we can create it with this UI. Here, user interface. To create this user interactive page, we have to know following all programmings. HTML4 and 5, second one is CSS2 and 3, third one is JavaScript. Here JavaScript, then fourth one is jQuery. Here fifth one is Ajax. Here Ajax, then sixth one is responsive design. Responsive design. Here seventh one will be Bootstrap. Here eighth one will be Less and SAS programming. Ninth one is project. So generally I'll cover these all topics in our course. Here in our web UI programming, I'm going to discuss these all topics. Here I'm going to cover these all topics in our course. HTML 4 and 5, CSS 2 and 3. Like this, these all topics I'm going to cover in our course. Here, first, what is UI? When I enter any URL in the browser, I can see that home page of the application. Here, I can create home page of the application by using this UI programming. Okay. Here, home page. How can we create that home page here? See, when I enter any URL, one second, just 1 second. Here, http://www.google.com. So when I enter google.com here, I can show you that Google homepage for us. Here I can show you that Google homepage. When you click on the search button, that input will go to the server. Server will connect to database. By that only we'll get output for our application. If my input is connected to server, so server will read our data here. This input will reach to server. Server will give you connection. Server will make connection to the database. Here that server will give you result for us. This type of interactions here, front end is connected to server. Server is back to front end. These all interactions you can create it with our front end programming. Here this is giving result for us, so because of that we can get output for our program. Okay, search bar. Here once we click on the search item, that input is reaching to server. Here this server program, this may be developed by Java page or a .NET page or a PHP page. Here it may be a PHP page or a Java page or a .NET page. Any one server programming we can use it. Here our front end programming, this is connecting with a database. Here these databases are here, Oracle database or MySQL database. Here MySQL database or SQL server database, we use it here for storing our data and accessing our data. So resultant page, data may be from server, but it is also one UI page. Here data may be coming from server, but it is connecting with our front-end programming. These all you can discuss here with the front-end programming. So we are discussing here front-end programming. Under that we are going to see all these. Here how front-end will interact with the server, server to database. These all interactions you can observe here in every front-end programming. Next year, this front-end programming is connecting to server. Because of that, we are getting our output to the program like this. Next, we are going to what is the use with the HTML. Yesterday, I explained basic use of HTML. HTML here, it is the hypertext markup language. It is a hypertext markup language. It's a hypertext markup language. It is mainly used to create content part of the web page. Yeah, content of web page, we can create it using HTML. Using HTML, we can create content of the web page. Basic content of the web page, we can create it with this HTML. So here HTML completely a tag based programming. Here HTML, it is completely a tag based programming. So what is a tag here? Tag is here instruction to browser. We can give instruction to the browser in the form of tags. Here these tags are divided into two types. Two types of tags we have. One is paired tag. Here second one is unpaired tag. Okay, here paired tag, whenever we start the tag, we have to write the ending of tag like this. This is paired tag. Here unpaired tag, whenever we start the tag name, we should end the tag there itself. Then we call it as unpaired tag. Here we are writing here pair and unpaired. Two types of tags we can write it for our application. Here we'll close the tag name and here itself we'll close here itself. Then we call it as unpaired tag. Here we are writing here pair and unpair. Basic content of the web page we are creating with this HTML. Basic content of the web page we can create it with this HTML. HTML is creating content part of the web page. What can we do with the CSS? Here CSS is giving alignment of the web page. Here CSS is giving alignment of the web page. It is here cascading style sheet. Here cascading style sheet we can create it with the CSS. Here inside the doc type HTML, here under this we can write it here HTML start, HTML close. Under this we can write it here head start and close and body start and close. Under this head we can write it here. Under this head we can write it some style tag and then script tag. Style tag we use it for writing our CSS code. CSS code for our application we are writing with style tag. Here what can we do with the body tag? So inside the body tag we can write some list of tags that we'll discuss under this body tag. We can write some list of tags under this CSS. Those all comes under this here. Those all comes under CSS. Here CSS is used to write our, here CSS is used to write cascading style sheet. It is mainly used to write the CSS code. Okay, style tag we are using here for writing CSS code. So what is the use with the CSS? Here alignment of web page. Alignment of web page we can create it. We can create it using CSS. Alignment of the web page. Basic alignment of the web page we are doing with this CSS. Here CSS is giving alignment of the web page. Next we are going for JavaScript. Next topic is JavaScript. JavaScript, what it will give for our application? JavaScript, it adds functionality. Functionality of web page. We can create it using JavaScript. Using JavaScript, we can create functionality of our application. So what type of functionality we can create it here? Here, click here. What type of functionalities we can create it here? Functionality of our application: cookies, local storage, session storage, main validations, regular expressions, clicking events. Those all we are going to learn it with JavaScript. Suppose if I want to log in for any application without filling the details, just if I click it, it will give you error message for us. See, I'm getting this type of red color error messages. This red color error messages are because of JavaScript. Red color is by CSS. Text boxes is by HTML. Text boxes by HTML. Red color is by CSS. Alignment, left and right alignment is by CSS. Here red error messages is by JavaScript. error messages by JavaScript, and we can write our code like this. This way we can write our code for our application. Here we are writing here red color error messages are by CSS. Next we can write it here CSS code and JavaScript code. We can write it like this. Next jQuery. Here jQuery is an external library of JavaScript. It's an external library of JavaScript. We call it as jQuery. Here it is a external library of JavaScript. Here jQuery is a external library of JavaScript. We call it as jQuery. So at this time we can understand here how we can work out with that jQuery. Here jQuery is an external library of JavaScript. We call it as jQuery. Here under this jQuery we can download different jQuery files. jQuery cycle.js, jQuery UI.js, jQuery ripple.js. Like this we have so many jQuery files. See here, if I use jQuery, here jQuery cycle.js, just if you search for jQuery cycle, you can see that jQuery cycle related execution. Here you can see that here shuffling effect, zooming effect, fading effect. You can see all your output. Shuffle, zoom, fade, curtain, turn down, scroll right. Like this, we have so many type of effects we can create it with our jQuery. jQuery is nothing but JavaScript only, but we are writing something extra in the JavaScript that we can learn it with this. Here jQuery is an external library of JavaScript, is a jQuery. How to implement it you can understand here with this jQuery programming. Next we can write it here. Next, how can we work out with jQuery ripple.js? Here you can see that here jQuery ripples. Here how can we work out with jQuery ripple.js? See, if you check any output here jQuery ripples, so under that you can see that how we can create water wave movements. Here jQuery water wave movements we can easily create it with this jQuery ripple.js. Here because of that jQuery ripple.js we can create this type of water wave movements. See here, this type of water wave movements we can create it with this jQuery. Here this way we can create our output by jQuery. Here we are using here jQuery. Because of that jQuery we can create this type of water wave movements. See here, this type of water wave movements we can create it with this jQuery. See, this way. Here because of the jQuery we can create that effect like this. Here like this I'll show you what is the use of each topic, and I'll explain at the end of the course. I'll explain one real-time project. So every Saturday session I want to continue on project session. Monday to Friday is the topic session. Here we are discussing here jQuery. Using jQuery how to create cycle rotation, how to give output of ripple.js we observed. Next here, how can we work out with Ajax? Ajax here it is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Here Ajax here it is asynchronous. Here asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It is a combination of JavaScript and XML. Then only we call it as Ajax. So we can understand here how can we make our application with this Ajax call. How can we create our output, that you can understand with this Ajax. Here Ajax is the asynchronous JavaScript and XML. How can we create our application with this Ajax, that you can understand with this programming. Next one here, after this Ajax, I'll explain here how to work with responsive design. Responsive design. Responsive design time, you can understand here how can we create our output as responsive application. Responsive application time, you will understand here how we can create our output in mobile phone, in tablet, here in tablet and in desktop. In all different resolutions, how can we show your output? How can we show our output in desktop, in tablet, in mobile phone? That you will understand in this responsive design. In responsive design time, you will understand how to create our code in this, all these responsive design codes you can understand here. In responsive design time, you will understand how can we develop our output in mobile, in tablet, in desktop. in all different resolutions, how can we create our output, that you can understand under this responsive design. Next, we are going for Bootstrap. Here, Bootstrap is a ready-made framework. It's a framework of, here it's a framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Here it is a framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It's a ready-made framework. Something framework here. This framework is ready to use. That we'll understand here in the Bootstrap. It's a ready-made framework. Some JS files will add it for our program. So automatically we can implement our output. That you will understand in this Bootstrap programming. In Bootstrap programming time, you will understand how we can easily develop our output with this Bootstrap. That you can understand with this Bootstrap. Here, next one, here how to develop our output with the Bootstrap, we understood here. Next here, how can we work out with less and sass? Here, less and sass. Here, less is the linear style sheet, sass is a syntactically awesome style sheet. These two are just a superset of CSS. Here, these two are the just a superset of CSS. Here you can understand how can we write our less and sass file. You can understand here less and sass both are superset of CSS. How it will be superset, how can we create our output, how we can execute our program. That you will understand under this responsive design. Here responsive design and less and sass both will discuss here. Responsive design time you will understand how can we create our output as responsive application. And here less and sass programming time you will understand how we can create our output for our application with CSS. Something extra we can write it with the CSS, that you will understand under this responsive design. So finally every weekend session I'll go for project session. So project session time you will understand how we can implement that particular topic in the real time. So every Saturday I'll go for project session. Monday to Friday I'll take topic session. Saturday will be the project session. So every Saturday you can understand how my class is implemented in the real time. Okay, and everyday recordings will be updated in one drive. That drive I am going to share with you. Here everyday recordings I'll upload it in one drive. The drive like this 6 p.m. 12:30 p.m. like that I'll create 6 p.m. batch. Here this class timing will be 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. from the next week. This week it is 6:30 to 7:30, but next week it is 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. I'll continue your class 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and I already created one drive for 6 p.m. batch. That drive, in that drive I uploaded demo folder, recordings, everything I uploaded there. You can get that recording if you contact DURGASOFT organizer Bhavani ma'am. She will share this recording with you. Total drive, you can get this total drive. Under that you can see paint files, programs, documents, demo folders, everything you can see here. Clear? Yes. These all I'm going to explain. These all I'm going to cover. Yeah, these all I'm going to share with you. This is already shared with a few students. If you want to get this recordings and course content also I uploaded here. Recordings also uploaded here. Everyday recordings, everyday paint files, everyday programs, you can get it from this drive. You can contact with me in that mail ID. So by that I can respond to you whatever the doubt you have. Okay, I'll share my mail ID with you. So you can be in contact with me in that drive. Okay, up to now, whatever I explain here, this is totally HTML, that web UI basic programming, how to use it and how to implement it, I explained. Up to now, any doubts? Yes, please. Up to now, any doubts? Yes, up to now, any doubts? Shekhar, Rajita, Mohad.
Oh, no doubts.
Ratan. No doubts. Okay. That's it for today. We'll meet tomorrow 6:35. Like that, I'll join in the session. For demonstration time, it will be half an hour to 40 minutes. For regular session, it will be full 1 hour session. Okay. If you want this drive, contact Bhavani ma'am, DURGASOFT organizer. You can get her number in the DURGASOFT main website. That's it for today. Thank you.